All right. Well, today we're doing a video on how we dissect public land properties. We got a lot of different ways we do this. We've been doing this public land for at least 5 years, 6 years.
5 years. Going on 6 will be this upcoming year. So
yeah, which, you know, we have 5 years of experience. There's guys out there that have way more experience than we do, but
we've been on some pretty freaking big bucks. I mean, the first year we started bow hunting, we were after a deal that was probably 180 to 190 inches, just a freak. And then the second year we were after, I shot like 160 inch, probably 8-pointer, 150. I mean, he was a freak. But so I think, so for me, my first tip to whenever I go to a piece of public is I'm always looking on onX because I don't want to be wasting time, you know, looking at properties that have no value. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree. And really, like, depending on your area too, a lot of people think the same. So like what he just said, whenever you're looking at a property and you're like, oh, that's probably not valuable, it might actually be a good spot. Like if you're up north or just in ag country, a lot of the times we'll find these small pieces that are just CRP and there's barely any woods, like maybe no woods. And those tend to be pretty good.
Yeah, like that property I was hunting in Ohio, we were covered up and guys everywhere. And I got on a big buck and right next to a parking lot, which is one of my favorite. I always look for that. Those overlook spots right next to parking lots, because I think everybody these days, they've got e-bikes. Even if you're not supposed to use them, guys are using them. I mean, and they're getting back 3 miles. A lot. You're seeing a lot of human sign back there.
That, and everybody's saying you got to go deep. And sometimes you do, but
but I noticed if you're the biggest bucks I've shot are right next to the parking lot.
Next to it. Yep.
I mean, you dropped me off and I walked, 30, 40 yards in the woods at that spot in Ohio. And I seen I couldn't tell how big he was, but he was definitely a shooter. Another important thing, I think, whenever we go into a property is looking at the surrounding properties on that piece of public. Like if you got beans on one side, especially early season, am going to be glassing those beans and looking for those big bucks to be out there.
I was hunting northern Missouri a couple of years ago, and first time hunting ag, and what was really effective was glassing. Like I got on 2 nice bucks by just glassing, driving around glassing. And where we hunt here, where we're from, there's just no ag, not really any fields. It's like not big woods, but
mostly woods,
woods and hills, and
so you can't really glass. I mean, we see a lot of bucks just driving around, but we don't really glass. I mean, we drive around and
we definitely we still do drive around, and a lot of times we'll drive around the piece of public, the roads surrounding the public.
Well, like I said, the third most important thing I think is looking for those spots next to the parking lots, because nobody's going to these spots. I mean, like that deer we were hunting the first year we started bow hunting was literally right next. We were hunting pretty close to the parking lot, and there was a lot of pressure there.
Oh, a lot of pressure. It was bad.
Yeah, and we were still right. I mean, you shot that buck.
Yeah, I don't understand how that deer was alive for it. Like, he was an old buck. We don't know how old he was, but I mean, we had 3 years of history. And he was definitely mature for those 3 years. I don't know how old maybe 6, 7.
I think the first year we were hunting him, he was probably 5.5, maybe 6.5.
Yeah.
And then the second year, I mean, he might have been 7.5. I don't know. He was really really big.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that piece of public, there's so much pressure. I don't understand how that deer made it that long. And
but another thing is a lot of those guys, we've been hunting that piece of public for 5 years now. Ever since we started bow hunting, we've been hunting that pretty hard. So we've got, and we both hunt it. So, and it's not a very big piece. So it's not like you're going a bunch of acres you got to cover. So we know it pretty well. But all of the guys hunt it the exact same. They sit on top of the ridges. And you may be able to do that on private land, a big buck, but in these spots like this, every guy's sitting on top of a ridge, and we're consistently getting on these big bucks. I mean, we've seen multiple big bucks there. I've seen big bucks there. You've seen a bunch of big bucks there. And it's like, well, the parking lots are filled every time, but I never see guys going down in these valleys where we're going. And they're hard to hunt in these thermal hubs because your wind.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's where you're not going to kill a big buck sitting up on top of a ridge.
Could.
You could.
I mean, you can kill a buck anyway, but
not.
You want to increase your odds. And
yeah, I mean, those big bucks aren't going to travel unless a hot doe goes through there, maybe. But still, I mean, I'm not betting my odds on a hot doe.
Yeah, and yeah.
And then bedding areas. Once I find that, I check the surrounding properties. I'm first checking right next to the parking spots, looking for sign real close, or maybe it's a little acre spot across the road from the parking spot. Then I'm looking for bedding. I care about the food early season because those bucks are going to be out there and we're going to be glassing them. But bedding is by far the most important thing in my opinion to kill a mature buck.
Yeah.
Because every deer moves during daylight.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have your rare occasion, but they're getting up and moving 60, 70 yards, out of their bed.
Yeah.
And you just got to get close enough to where you're in that 60, 70 yards. So the fifth most important thing, in my opinion, is looking for water. I mean, if you're in an area that's super dry, like we hunt a lot of rivers, creeks, so sometimes water has no effect because that creek runs miles, so all throughout that property, so water has no effect. But if you're hunting a spot, like when I went to Kansas, I was kind of focusing on water because it was real dry out there. I didn't have any luck out there, but I think water plays a big role if you're in an area with low water or if you're not around any creeks or river systems. Then access, because if you're having to access from, like one of these pieces I hunt, you kind of walk in a bowl basically, and I was hunting a pretty nice buck. He was probably mid 140s in there, and I wasn't hunting it right because I just didn't know, and I was entering in this low parking area, like walking down the rest of the people did, and the buck was bedding up on the hill, and I would jump him up. And I think what I should have done, if going back, is I should have circled all the way around to get in there.
Yeah.
Because he was watching me walking in, and that's what those deer will do, especially in those bowl areas where you're walking into a low spot. Those deer will bed on the ridges because they're used to, you got to think there's generations of guys that have been hunting that, and those deer, even though they might be 4 or 5 years old, they get taught by their moms, or they just got good instincts, and they're going to bet on that and watch you walk in there, which you might say, screw it, I'm just going to walk in, hopefully I can get close enough, hopefully he's not bedded right there. But usually a really big buck's setting up to their advantage.
Daylight sign.
Yeah, daylight sign.
That's a big one.
A lot of guys just go in. It's because sign is a very small piece of the puzzle. They're just telling you they're there.
Yep.
And if they're showing you, like if I see something and it's just on a field edge, and if you're hunting a pressured area, which almost all public's pretty pressured,
especially here.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty much, unless like where we go sometimes, like where we were hunting. That place, I feel like you might be able to sit on a field edge, and there's not near as many guys up there.
Yeah.
But we're looking for sign in the bedding areas.
Yeah.
Maybe during the rut, like still a bedding area. Still where a deer could bed because
thick cover.
Yeah. Then I'll set up on that sign. Like when I was in Ohio, I set up on a scrape, but it was in the middle of the woods, thick woods, surrounded by honeysuckles.
It's weird because Ohio is thick everywhere.
Yeah. But I found that one good scrape, and that one buck came through there, and I just got busted by the doe for moving my camera arm, or maybe they caught wind. I'm not sure, but ag's important. I would say that's probably, I don't know.
It's just different terrain.
Yeah, I feel like ag's a lot easier to hunt.
It's easier to, I think it's definitely easier to find the deer.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, and what I like about like rolling hills, like where we're from, there's
it's hard
so
to
many,
predict where they're going to go.
and they might not be using every ridge system. But if you're in ag country, it's flat. Okay, they're obviously not going to walk out in the middle of an open field, and so you can get in those thick woods and see their trails and kind of see how they're moving. Because it seems like in ag country, the woods are a lot thicker. But like where we're from, the woods are pretty open, so you can see a long ways without so it's kind of hard to sneak into your stand a lot of times. Or if you're getting on one side of a ridge, they might see you on the other side of a ridge. So another thing is like using OnX or whatever app you use. I like using OnX. I've kind of messed around with Spartan Forge, and I mean, I like it. It's just got a lot of bugs.
Yeah, Spartan Forge.
It's got really good maps, but it's imagery.
Imagery's really good,
but it's just got a lot of bugs. But I think once they get those worked out, they'll definitely.
We hunt public land, and whenever you're looking at public land on Spartan Forge, you can't tell if it's actually public land because like it highlights it the same as a state park or any city-owned ground or just not public hunting land. Any public land looks the same. So you don't know if it's public hunting.
Yeah, you don't know if it's a state park or hunting. No hunting.
That was my biggest issue because we hunt public.
Yeah, I mean, I've got both because I got I like the imagery on Spartan Forge.
I canceled my membership, but
I think a feature I use on whatever you're using, I like on it. Whenever you're using OnX, though, you can do this line distance. Yeah, and I use that a lot because if I'm like where I'm going to set up, because I usually want to have a 40-yarder in shot. Yeah, so I'm going to pick a tree based on obviously my wind, but if I've got I'm going to try and pick a tree that I'm 40 yards and I can shoot the most stuff. Like obviously if I know he's coming out in an area, I'm going to try and set up a 20-yard shot or 15, whatever, but if I'm using that line distance a lot and to see how long it's going to take me to get in there, that helps me a lot though. Or the 3D, the 3D.
LiDAR. Oh, well, I use
the LiDAR one.
LiDAR's, it's cool. I mean, you can tell if there's like a bench or whatnot, but not always. Yeah. I don't think it always, because I mean, there's been spots that there is a bench and LiDAR doesn't really pick it up. Yeah.
I mean, I think some of that's overrated. You know?
I mean, you can I know that one piece of property I was looking at, with the LiDAR, you could see an old logging road. You couldn't see it through the trees, like through the leaves of the regular imagery, but then you turn on LiDAR and you can actually see where they plowed a road into the side of the hill.
You know what I did really like about Spartan Forge too, though, is that you could go back years.
Yeah, that was good.
Past imagery.
Yep.
And that was freaking awesome. I don't know why OnX hasn't done that yet, but
I don't know. If OnX had that imagery.
Yeah. Well, I use that tracker too on there a lot especially when I'm scouting to kind of see. Now I save it, but I think another big thing if you're hunting public land that I do is I've got a note. Like I use notes on my phone. Some people use bring a notebook, but I don't because I don't want more shit to carry. But I write down in my notes how every hunt went, where I hunted, the date. I mean, sometimes I'll write down the wind, just so next year I know. Because if I'll go back and look, and if I hunted there last year, I didn't see anything, or I won't go there again. Yeah. So being mobile too, guys, is so important in my opinion. I rarely hunt a set over 2-3 times. Even I might hunt the same area, but my buck I was after this year, I mean, I had 5 or 6 encounters with him within 80 yards, and I would still bounce around, and he would never really go in the same. I mean, I was just trying to figure him out, and then towards the end, I had him to where he was. I mean, I had him. I knew he was in his bedroom, and I knew he was in there, and I messed up. My wind switched. He got wind of me, and that was the last I ever saw him. But me changing my setup kept him guessing the whole time. I felt like it gave me a big advantage on him. And I never really spooked him seeing wise. I mean, he smelled me that last time, I think. I mean, he had to have smelled me. He didn't really blow out, but he knew something was up. And I was hunting a spot where kind of suburban-y, so it could have been a human walking on the road. You know, it wasn't the end of the world, but I think hunting mobile is really important if you're wanting to, because you're not wasting sets. Like, usually if a big buck's living in there and they're getting in there during daylight, you're gonna catch them on the first sit's your highest chance, I think.
Yeah.
Like, the first day of season, I had that big buck, 40 yards, and I just couldn't get a shot. The grass was tall, and I decided to hunt on the ground because I didn't want to push in too deep. And it was smart not to do that because he ended up being bedded right there. Yeah. I probably would have blew him out.
Yeah, you might have, yeah.
But I had a tree I could have got in, but it had poison ivy all over it, and I said, fuck that, because I'm highly allergic to it. So I wasn't, it would have been nice to kill that big buck, but I wasn't taking the poison ivy.
No, that's not fun.
Those are my main tips for hunting public land. We've had pretty good success. You know, we've put some nice bucks down on public land, but we've messed up on some freaking giants.
Yeah, we messed up. Yeah.
If we would have had, we all both would have had Boone and Crockett's, and in our first year of hunting. Yeah, but we had pretty high standards too. I was passing 140-inch deer. Yeah,
when I was after that buck for 2 years, I passed so many nice deer that I regret passing. But
yeah, but when you're hunting a 190, it's like,
yeah, and I was like on him. I had him patterned early season, and that's when I just messed up on a shot, which I was in a bowl, and the wind swirled, and they smelled me and kind of. They were at 20 yards, but I couldn't get a shot, and then they bounced to 40 yards, and
yeah. Well, wind too. Like when I shot Houdini, we had horrible wind blowing right at him, but we were hunting. There was this walking path, so there's this on this piece, and we just sat 10 yards off, if that off, probably 5 yards.
We were just there to kill a doe.
Yeah. And ended up having to take a little over a 35-yard shot through some tall grass right at dark and shouldered him. It smoked him. We just bad trackers back then.
Yeah.
We looked for him, but we were pretty shitty trackers. I feel like now we would have found that deer for sure. I'd say he probably died, but
yeah, looking back at it, yeah, sucks. But anything else?
No. Well, thanks for watching, guys.